I'm looking at what I've called, where do I go from here? Or where do you go from here? Now, you might have gone through a crisis in your life and you're trying to find meaning in life after this crisis. And you're like, man, what do I do after this? It just seems like my life is finished. Now, I'm just going to refer to a portion of scripture, Exodus chapter 2. It's the story of a man called Moses. And Moses it had been spoken about him that he would be really great. He would do great things for God and for God's people. And he was probably excited about that. But something happened. A crisis happened in his life. And one day he was just walking about. Cut long story short, he killed a man, he murdered someone and had to run away from the area so that he wouldn't have he had to just run away and leave everything. And after he left that scenario, I'm sure he must have been wondering, my goodness, my life is over. Where do I go from here? Now, yours might not be like Moses that killed someone, but it might be that you've gone through a really, really heart-wrenching crisis in your life. And you're like, after this, where can I go? What happens after this? Is there really any point? Well, I'm just going to refer to another portion of scripture, and that's Romans chapter 8 and verse 28. I'll paraphrase. Now, what that portion of scripture says is this, that God works out everything for those who love him and are called according to his purpose. So in the same way that Moses felt finished after he killed someone and he just thought, well, I'm just going to live my life till I die in a very mellow fashion, all those aspirations, all those dreams that I had, forget about them. No, this scripture applied to the life of Moses, and God was still able to work things out for him so that he came back to God's original plan for his life. So what am I saying today? I'm saying that if you're trying to find meaning for your life after a big crisis in your life, there is hope, because that portion of scripture that I referred to earlier, Romans chapter 8 verse 28, says God can still work things out for you. God can still work things out for me. So you can find meaning and purpose for your life still, even after a crisis.